things in high school that we should be focused on. How grading officially works in America. What will colleges look at? How can I afford college? College requirements and how to apply. What do you want your major to be versus what do you want your career to be? And then questions at the end. So why go to college? I kind of touched about that, but I want to talk about the parable of the talents. In the Bible, chapter... Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's just, that's the logo of the church and the diocese. It's okay. Anyway, so why go to college? Anyone here know the parable of the talents? Yep. Yeah. So it's a parable Christ gave. He gave everyone a certain amount of talents. He gave one person 1 talent, someone 2 talents, someone 5. Now everyone returned their talents except for the one person that only was given 1 talent and he threw it away. The message, everyone here is given at least 1 talent. And it's not more or less, it's according to your capability, right? And everyone here is capable of achieving a higher education and getting a degree in order to glorify Christ's name. Do you guys understand that? Everyone here is talented. Everyone here has a certain gift. For example, I might be doing biology, and Marco in a couple of years says he wants to do business. So someone that's doing biology, the pre-medical track, is going to be obviously looking to do something in the hospital or urgent care or something, helping people medically, right? That's obviously helping people for Christ. A businessman, he still can help people. A businessman, you study in college how to organize a business, how to become like a organizer for a church or something like that, and then you can start using that money or those skills, to help the church. Do you understand? So everyone here is talented, okay? Everyone here has a gift, and you must give your gift back in order to receive eternal life, and that's still our goal at the end of the day. This is just a step in the process, okay? So college, you become better educated, more well-rounded. You learn more about like everything in general, not just your focus of study. Prepares you for work. You develop important skills, how to study, how to talk to people, how to do things like that. You learn how to network and use your resources. In college, you're going to meet so many people that you never thought, like I'm not even 4 months in. Hedra's almost 2 years into college now. And you meet people that you never imagined you would have met. Okay? And those people are going to help you in your career. And also you meet new friends and lifelong companions. Critical thinking, how to solve a problem, right? College is going to help you with that. Whether it be through any area of study, your classes are going to teach you how to solve certain problems because college is not easy. It's not meant to be easy. You're going to be faced with challenges and you're going to be taught how to overcome them, whether they're in the classroom or outside in your college life, okay? And of course, you explore your interest. When I was a sophomore in high school, I wanted to become an engineer. I was dead set on becoming an engineer. Over time, I switched to the medical track, completely opposite. So you have to keep exploring your interests, and college is going to allow you to see more of what everything is about. And then obviously, I put a degree can speak. When you start, this is way after, when you start applying for jobs with a degree, they're going to look at you differently. They're going to pay you more. They're going to think you're more professional. If a boss, a supervisor is hiring between 2 people that have the same credentials, same age, same everything, but one person has a college degree and one person doesn't, he's going to go with the person with a college degree, right? So working in high school, most of you guys are still in high school. It's good to think ahead, but I want you to know what you have to do right now. Because the process starts. I remember someone told me when I was in 8th grade, this process starts the first step you have into your high school. The first quiz, the first homework grade that you receive in your freshman year of high school, August of 9th grade, affects your GPA in your senior year when you're applying to college. It's all one cumulative grade. Don't say, I'm a freshman, I'm a sophomore, this doesn't matter. No. Every single grade, from your freshman year to your senior year matters. Okay? So don't think freshman year is less important. So you're supposed to develop your study habits from now. It is never too early. Like if you get into college and you're still gonna figure out how to study, you're in trouble, right? High school and middle school actually is a time that you should start developing your study habits. When should I do homework? When should I study for my tests? How should I study for my test? How do I write an essay, right? Because when you're a senior and you have to write 5 essays, you're not gonna have time to figure out how to write an essay. You're gonna have to be able to just focus on writing it right away. You can't be teaching yourself the strategies. So I already said that, but I'm gonna say it again. Your college journey begins the first day of 9th grade and will count the same until 12th grade. It's all one cumulative GPA. I'm gonna talk about that for those who don't know you. Extracurriculars, get involved in high school. Necessary. There are so many people in high school that play a sport and have good grades. You're talking about more than half of America, okay? And there's not that many colleges. But there are so many people that have good grades and play a sport. You have to be different. You have to get involved in your clubs at your high school. Don't leave the high school at the bell. If you play a sport, find a club to get involved in. Because I'm sorry for all my athletes here, it's wonderful that we play sports. I love sports. I played a sport through high school. But in order to go to college for your sport at a high level, you have to be the next big thing. And in my eyes, I'm sorry, I don't mean to crush anyone's dream of becoming the next Messi or Ronaldo or all the big athletes out there, but in my eyes, I don't see anyone here or even in this state that's gonna reach that level. So focus on your academics and getting involved and play your sport for fun, okay? Now, I'm gonna shift over to grading in America. Who here knows what a GPA is? GPA. And if you don't know it, that's fine. It's something, I wrote it down. It's grade point average. GPA, okay? Basically, it's your cumulative grade. You know what cumulative means? From start to end, and everything in between, okay? So an A plus is a 4.0. However, GPA changes from state to state. That doesn't matter too much. But in Massachusetts, for example, if you get an A plus, sometimes they'll give you a 4.3 out of 4.0. Does it make sense? Don't ask me why. That's how it is. And we have to play by the rules. Generally, states A plus is 4.0, a B is a 2.7, a C is a 1.7. Remember these grades for when I show you the requirements of colleges, okay? But generally speaking, an A to an A plus is 4.0. That's perfect. If you have a 4.0 or a 4.1, there's no difference. You already passed the 4. And colleges care about that you're doing what you can. A B is what? A 2.7. Remember that, a B is a 2.7, because I hear all the time, a B is good. A B is not good. And you guys see those like videos online, TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff, like parents overreacting when a kid gets a B. They should. A B is not gonna get you to where you want. It's okay to get it once. Don't like say, oh, I'm not gonna go to college, I got 1 B. No, but don't let that be your average. Don't let that be okay. You understand? Your average should be the top. And if you fail at that average, it's fine if you're trying. But your average or your goal should be the top. Don't aim for a B. Never aim for a B. One of my high school teachers told me to aim for a B. And I listened to him and I messed up. Because if I'm aiming for a B, if I go 1 step down, that's a C. If I'm aiming for an A and I go 1 step down, that's a B. You guys understand that logic? It's important to think about. Don't let everyone else's average be okay with you. So what are colleges looking at? They're looking at your GPA number 1, your grades. Does this kid have good grades or no? Simple, right? So, anyone know what a weighted GPA versus an unweighted GPA is? Julian. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So in high school, there's levels of classes. It differs from high school to high school, but usually at the top is an AP class. You guys heard of it? Anyone here taking APs? Good. So junior year, maybe sophomore year, depends on the high school, but junior year, try to take at least 1 AP, okay? So you have AP classes, honor classes, and then my high school was level 1 and level 2. It might be different for some colleges have it as CP, stuff like that. I'm not sure. But for my high school, it was AP honors, then whatever's under. Level 1, level 2, CP. Some schools have level 3. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You should be focused on the top, like I said, right? So we have that. So obviously, in a harder class, in an honors class or an AP class, it's harder to get an A. That's just how it works. It's a harder class. So if you get an A in an honors class or an AP class, your weighted GPA, the first one, your weighted GPA, pay attention, is gonna get added with some bonus points because you're taking a harder class. Your unweighted GPA stays the same no matter what class you're taking. But weighted GPA shows the college how hard your classes are. Do you understand? Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm a student in high school. I have a 3.6 GPA, weighted and unweighted. That means I took all the easy classes and I got a 3.6. Okay? Like an A minus, B plus, around. You guys get that? Let's say I'm a student in high school. My unweighted is a 3.6, but my weighted is a 4.0. What does that mean? Anyone get what that means? If my weighted is 0.4 points higher than my unweighted, what does that mean? Julian. That means my grade literally got weighted up. Its weight, because I took harder classes. Do you guys understand that? Because I had no idea what that meant in high school until like junior year. Okay? So weighted, it's called strength of schedule. If you have a stronger schedule, so harder classes, you're gonna get points for it, up. So some people say a B in an A, you guys might have heard this in high school, a B in this AP class is the same as an A in this honors class. But obviously an A in that AP class doesn't compete with anything. That's the top. You guys get that? That's important. You have to understand that for when you apply. And then colleges look at both, okay? SAT, you guys can see what that means, or ACT. Anyone here is interested in the ACT? If not, anyone here ACT? No. Anyone here SAT? Please raise your hands. SAT. Okay. ACT is usually for the states down south. SAT. Anyone here taken it yet or still? Okay. SAT is like a test where no matter as many times as you take the test, they take your highest score. If you take it 20 times, they take your highest score. If you take it once, they take that score. And SAT is the type of test where you can't get a question wrong. You only get points up. Do you understand that? So if you put a wrong bubble in, it's all multiple choice now. If you put a wrong bubble in, they're not gonna bring your grade down. If you put the right one, it's gonna go up. So it's only up, okay? So for those who are taking it soon, I hope juniors, seniors, and then freshmen, sophomores should have or are going to take the PSAT, the practice version, right? So in those, please fill out everything. And when you take the test, you're not gonna get graded poorly. You only get graded up. You understand? They're not gonna take a point off. If you get the right answer, you get the point. If you get it wrong, skip. So never skip a problem, okay? So that's the SAT. But one more thing about the SAT. You guys been seeing there's gonna be an online SAT soon? Yeah? Don't take it. You guys been seeing the in-class SATs in school. You guys know how to register for those or still? Still? Okay. Anyone here knows what the College Board is? College Board, for juniors and seniors mainly, you should be registering for the SAT in person. And for everyone, the SAT is optional in 80% of colleges. Can anyone with their smart logic tell me what that means? If it's optional, what's gonna make you stand out? Sending it in with a good grade, right? Because everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people have good GPAs. A lot of people are involved in clubs and activities, and a lot of people play sports. But not a lot of people get good SAT grades. And that was the difference. In my class, from the valedictorian to 2 and 3, actually the valedictorian had a higher GPA but a lower SAT score, so the kid in second place went to a better college. You understand that? Your SAT, if you can focus on it and get a good grade, your percentages are gonna go up crazy because no one wants to take it anymore. They're putting it online now. Anyone can cheat on it now. But if you can go in a classroom and get a good grade on your SAT, that's good, okay? And for those that didn't hear about the SAT yet, don't worry about it until like your junior year, but your freshman and sophomore year, you should be taking the PSAT and have it in the back of your head. The summer between your sophomore and your junior year, that summer, I would recommend, if I were to go back, I would recommend to start studying for the SAT. Because that year, you're not doing anything. You're not doing internships, you're not doing anything. The most you're gonna do is a summer job at a fast food place or something like that. So that's not too hard to fit studying in with, okay? So start studying for your SAT because that's gonna make you different. Yeah, so she said after COVID, a lot of colleges are not depending on the SAT, and that's right. Because colleges are not depending on the SAT, students are not depending on the SAT. So if you get a good grade on the SAT, you're gonna be one in a dozen. Like no one's gonna be like you like that. Because no one's studying for it anymore. So it makes you different, and it's still a college board test, okay? So SAT, very important. Take it as many times as you can. You don't get graded negatively, only up. Any questions about the SAT? Any questions about the GPA, weighted or unweighted? Because these two, you have to understand for the rest of the slideshow to make sense. You understand? Okay. Yeah, so weighted GPA, you get points up in your GPA if you take harder classes. Stronger schedule. Remember, strength of schedule, it's important. Try to take the hardest classes you can because your GPA is gonna go up. Don't worry, do the best you can, okay? High school involvements, activities, extracurriculars. You guys should mostly know what that is for those in high school. Middle school, it's gonna be very self-explanatory when you get there. Usually high school, you go, there's like a club fair or something like that. You walk around, is this all schools, right? Yeah. You walk around, you sign up, you're gonna see flyers in your high school, join the investment club, meetings on Monday at 3 p.m., whatever. Sign up for as many clubs as you can. Don't let it affect your grades, obviously. But if your time permits, sign up for as many clubs as you can. So I put some examples here. Let's see what I put. Oh, of course, National Honor Society. We have people in the National Honor Society here? Good. National Honor Society, Red Cross. You can put community and church service, but don't make that be your main. Because sometimes if you don't do anything in your school, and it's all at church or like another place outside of school, they might think that it's kind of fake. Like what, if he's doing stuff at his church and the food pantry across the road, why can't he do anything for his school? Not gonna make sense, okay? So you have to balance. Balance is important. Fundraising, they love, for some reason, colleges love when they see fundraising. If they see a student helped fundraise for a club or something like that, they love it. I don't know why, but they do. And we don't have to worry about why. So if you can do something like that, like you guys ever see clubs like, I don't know, a car wash for the cheerleading team, and it would give them money, or the basketball team is raising money for their jerseys or something. I don't know, what type of clubs are in high school? I forgot. Like, just random clubs raise money for random things, basically, and they love that, okay? So if you can raise money, show them that you can do it, good. Debate club is a popular one. Model UN, I don't know if you guys know it. Investment club. If you guys are interested in science, join like your science club. There would be like a biology club, a chemistry club, join it. Your language, if you guys are good at Spanish, French, Chinese, Arabic, anything, join it. Any club you can that aligns with your interest, or even kind of aligns with your interest, join it. Junior year to senior year, personally, I was straight biology, straight pre-med. Want to go to med school. I joined a political club and an investment club. Why? It was fun and it would look good on my resume. But don't just do it because it's on your resume, because if you're bored, it's not going to translate into anything. So make sure something is fun, you like it, it's helpful, and it's going to look good, okay? And obviously, like by resume, I mean your application, because right now we're applying to college. And then sports, basketball, football, soccer, volleyball, cheerleading, golf, any sport they like. And like I said, good to get involved in a sport. I've been playing sports my whole life, and I was pretty good at it. However, do not depend on sports. Please. Please. Like, I want to stress that. Play your sport. Be good at your sport. Awesome. Get maybe a scholarship for your sport. Great. But don't depend on it. If you get injured once, your whole plan has to change. Imagine that. Or if a coach decides one day, Everyone here that plays a sport, you know, coaches can change their mind in a minute. If a coach decides one day, I don't want you on my team anymore, boom, he kicks you off the team. Now what? Don't depend on sports, please. Like Hedra was an all-star basketball player here, didn't depend on sports. I was pretty good at soccer, I'd say. I didn't depend on it. You can't depend on it. And actually in college now, most of the people that depend on sports have it way harder. I'm not saying don't play a college sport, just saying know what you're getting into. And after, like I can do one-on-one questions. If anyone is interested in college sports, I can help in a one-on-one, explain the different divisions, how it works. But it's not really relevant to everyone. But if you're interested, talk to me after about sports and getting involved. AP classes, I already talked about those. And AP classes, juniors, seniors, maybe sophomores, you know, at the end, there's an AP test. They look at your grade. It's 1 through 5. You get either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they look at that. Different colleges take different grades. Math and science class. Okay, let's say, what's like a regular high school schedule? You have math, science, English, band or something, and then you have like a couple of, like, what are the classes that don't really matter? So you have your math, science, yeah, art class, for example, gym class, what else? Huh? Health matters. Maybe not at your school. Like Spanish, kinda, like the easy grades. Don't think you're tricking anyone by getting an A in all the easy classes like art and getting like a C in science. You're not tricking anyone. Oh, dude, my GPA is gonna balance out. Like you're talking to a college admission process. You're not tricking anyone, you're just tricking yourself. Okay? So prioritize your math and your science classes. If you're looking for more history, English, if you're looking to take that track in college, focus on that. But they love to see good math and science. Some colleges, the more competitive ones, will literally take out all of the easy classes and calculate a new GPA just for the ones that they think are real classes. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not. They will see he took math, science, art, English, philosophy of the modern world with a 90-year-old professor that doesn't teach the class. Colleges know that because they see everyone's grades. You're not special to them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. If I do, I apologize from now. You're not special to anyone in the college process. You are just a number to them. For grades, I mean. Right now, they're just looking at numbers and letters. Nothing personal, okay? They don't mean to take anything personal against you, but you guys get that. Don't be focusing, okay, look, I have a biology test tomorrow and I have an art test, or whatever, okay? In my school, there's a class called morality. We didn't do anything. Every school has some classes like that, and you guys know what I mean. I don't have to explain this. You guys in class, you know what I mean? That one class that you don't do anything and get an A. All you guys know what I mean. Some school have culinary class. I don't know. But colleges will cancel that class out. Let's say like I have a morality test tomorrow and a biology test tomorrow. If I study more for morality than biology and get a better grade on morality than biology, I did something wrong. Prioritize. You guys understand that? Have your priorities. So recommendations, you guys, for those who are juniors and seniors and freshmen, sophomores, start thinking about who's going to write your recommendations. It can come from a lot of people. Teachers, coaches, principals, deans. It's good to get close. I know you guys are scared of the deans usually. High schoolers are usually scared to get close with your deans. Even if it starts one day, Mark gets sent to the dean office for making fun of someone. Okay. Now the dean knows me personally. I'm going to make a relationship with him. And for all you good kids that never get in trouble, I'm sure, if you see the dean walking, introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is Bob. I take this class and I would like to get to know you more. You seem like a cool guy, cool woman, nice person. Cool. Develop a relationship. They're people too. Because colleges, if a college sees a recommendation from a dean, that looks nice. Like he wasn't joking around with the teachers. He got one from a dean. This kid's something serious. Recommendations is when we start getting more personal. They're writing about you as a person now. They can write about your grades in a classroom. They can write about your performance on the field or the court or whatever. But now they're going to be writing about you as a person. Okay? counselors, priests, trusted servants. Like don't just go up to a servant that knows you kinda. No, go to someone, a servant that you know can write well. Like for example, I went to Andrew Rusla. He knows me very well. He's known me for a long time and knows my track. So he wrote me a letter of recommendation. You guys can go to your servants. Of course, the servant has to say yes, but it's the same strategy with any person that's writing your recommendation. They have to know you well, know what you want, and know where you want to go. Because if they don't know those, then they're recommending someone else. And then the college might not like that, and because of that, boom. Obviously, recommendation is not going to be the reason you get in or out of a college. That's going to be the reason they look at you, okay? Community work, it's good. We're very lucky. We are very lucky to have a church. Very lucky. We have so many opportunities at the church to serve in Sunday school, camps, the festival, all these events that the church hosts. If you serve, that is community work. That's community service. Okay? So we're lucky to have like an easy avenue to be able to serve. But don't mix it up. Don't say I'm going to serve for my college. Please don't do that. You're going to serve for Christ. If it's at the church, you're serving for Christ at the altar. At the same time, you can put it down on your application. Does that make sense? Okay? Personal essays. Anyone hear about the Common App essay? Yes? Who here is a junior? I just want to know. We only have 2 juniors, sophomores, and then senior Christina and Sandra. Okay. So you guys probably already wrote your essay, right? So sophomores and juniors and freshmen can pay attention to this. You should start thinking about what you want on your essay from the start of your junior year. Okay? This is the opportunity you have to show the college who you are. Okay? So we looked at a recommendation. Colleges looked at what other people think of you. And why would we recommend this person to go to college A? Okay? You have your GPA. A lot of people have good grades. SAT, involvement, clubs, extracurriculars, sports. But now your essay, it's you're the one that's writing it, and you're saying, take me because I'm this person, okay? And usually the college essays, you want to be different, and you're usually like a note for juniors, seniors, the best way to write a college essay is to show how you overcome a problem, okay? And I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. This is just to help everyone. Almost every friend or person that I knew from church, not just this church, any Coptic person wrote, my family came from Egypt on the plane. I smelled the aroma of America and I worked hard. You know how many people have immigrant parents? A lot. A lot. Please be different. Be different. I've read so many essays. People are like, yo, Mark, can you review my essay? Sure. On October 20th of 2003, my parents hopped off the plane. They came to America. They didn't have a college degree, so they worked hard for me, and now I'm going to work hard for them, period. Great. They still have no idea who you are. They just know that your parents came off the plane. That's all they know. They're going to say, good for them. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Next, you have to be different. Please. Even if that's part of the essay, great. You can make it part of it. But your whole essay can't be about that. It has to be about you and overcoming a problem. They love that. Remember that. Overcoming a problem. Okay? Whether it be like you got a bad grade in a class and it went to a good grade, or you had something in your social life, something affected you and you overcame it. They love seeing how you can overcome a problem, because when someone is faced with a hard situation, the way they overcome it defines that person, how he deals with the problem. That says a lot about a person. Do you guys understand that? Like, I can share my college essay, my idea. So I said I played soccer, and I had English was my worst grade all through middle school. So then I talked about how I overcame it and ended up taking an AP English class. And for soccer, I ended up how I got cut from a team and ended up making the team. But I kind of combined the two. And if you see like anyone that's been through the college process, ask them what their essay was about and get ideas. Keep getting ideas. Because the more ideas you get, you're gonna merge all of them together and make your own. But don't be that regular college essay of like the example, the most common essays. You can search this up on Google. The most common essays that teachers get is an athletic injury and how you overcame it. So many of those. Do not write about an athletic injury. Please don't. And then immigrant parents and things like that, okay? Think about from now how you can be different, okay? I know a couple of people that wrote about how college, I know someone wrote about their college essay about how their life is baking a cake. It's different and it worked. They said like this ingredient is this ingredient for me, this and that, this time in the oven was that time for me to do this. You're just describing yourself to the college while being different. Don't worry about it, you have time. That's why I told you sophomore, junior year, keep it in your head, okay? Like if you guys have like a problem in high school, like, maybe this is good for my college essay, who knows, okay? And if you need good ideas or don't understand what I'm saying right now for the essays, you can come ask me later or after. Consistency, don't bounce around. You guys know what consistency is, right? Don't get an A, then a C, then an A, then a C. That doesn't make any sense. That means that could mean he's smart, but he's not trying, or he got lucky on one test and unlucky. Be consistent, okay? Don't depend on one good class or something to get you through it. Yes? Yeah, interviews, some colleges, certain colleges require an interview. But if they do, they will email you, whether it be through Zoom or in person. I only had one Zoom interview. It's not that common. It's mainly for the Ivy schools and things like that they're gonna reach, but they're gonna reach out to you. So I just put it up there just so if you guys see a college email you and ask for an in-person or a Zoom interview, don't be surprised. That's why I put it up there. It's not too common, but if they want to meet you in person or see your face or talk to you over Zoom, they will, okay? Common App. Anyone here knows what the Common Application is? Okay, guys, look, listen. Learn from my mistake, please. I did not know what the Common Application was until my senior year. Okay? Common Application, it is what it sounds. It's one big application that you make with the Common App. That's what you're gonna hear. You put your name, your date of birth, all that fun stuff, your statistics kinda, and then your clubs. That's where you put the essay that I was just talking about. So that's what it is. So when you hear it, don't get surprised. So brainstorm about things you want colleges to know about you, other than your essay, like your clubs. What do you want to be involved in? Where do you want to fundraise? Where do you want to serve? Things like that. And then certain colleges require you to apply through a different website, okay? So don't, like there's some colleges, I remember like UCLA, like the colleges, the universities in California, they require a different application, completely different, okay? So if you don't see if you don't see a college on the Common Application, like basically you finish your application, you search for a college, Boston College, search, here it is, enter, submit to Boston College, it's there. If you don't see your college there, or the college you want to apply to there, don't worry, go on their website and apply through them, okay? Okay, reach, target, safety. Did anyone hear those terms? You heard? So reach school is the school that maybe you have a chance to get into, but it's up there, right? It's up there. I'm just gonna say it like that. Like, for example, I don't know, Harvard. That's a reach school. That's one of those schools that, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna get into it, but I might. I have a chance, so why not? Okay? Your target schools very closely match your statistics, your GPA, your SAT, your extracurriculars, very close to the target schools, okay? Those are the schools that, you know what, I should be able to get into this school with my grades and with my personality or whatever. Your safety school is, I'm gonna get into this school no matter what, okay? Doesn't have to be a community college or like a college that you don't wanna go to, but there are some colleges that have higher acceptance rates that are easier to get into. So I would recommend a 1-3-1 ratio. 1 reach school, 3 targets, and 1 safety. 3 targets, because a target, there's a chance that you don't get accepted to your target school. I didn't get accepted, like listen to this, I didn't get accepted to 2 of my target schools, but I got into 2 of my reaches. Why? I don't know. That's just the college process, the admission process. But I would recommend a ratio of 1-3-1. One safety school, just in case everyone denies you, you're still going to college and you can transfer later, okay? Your target schools should be your focus, okay? Those should be your best applications. Then your reach school is, you know what, I'm gonna shoot my shot and see what happens with that school, okay? So I said 1-3-1, do the math in your head. 1 + 3 + 1 is 5. So that's a minimum I would recommend. Apply for at least 5 colleges or universities. And then if your number goes up, you can start like personalizing how many reaches, how many targets, and how many safeties you're applying to. You guys understand that? You know what a reach is? A target and then a safety, okay? Tour colleges. You can start touring sophomore year, maybe even freshman year. Get a feel for the college. Junior, senior year, you should definitely be. So like when a college online is something, then when you step on the campus, it's something different. You feel the vibe around you, how everyone is greeting each other. Can I live here for 4 years? Can I go to school here for 4 years? Is it a possibility? So being there in person is different. Touring it, seeing how the classrooms look like. Am I gonna be comfortable? And then college requirements. Get familiar with your own stats. For juniors, seniors, get familiar with your stats. My GPA, my SAT, all that stuff, my extracurriculars. So I know where I want to apply. Okay, because obviously everyone wants to apply to the best school out there, but once you familiarize yourself with your stats, you're gonna know what your target is and what your reach is. Like for example, Sandra's reach, or let's say Sandra's target school might be Harvard. She's like one of the best students in the world, and my reach school could be Harvard. Do you guys understand? My reach is different than her target. Not everyone has the same targets. So know your grades and be realistic with yourself. Because if you apply for all targets and you think that's good for you, and you weren't realistic with yourself, you're gonna get denied from all the places and now you're in a hole. And you're gonna have to work up, okay? So be realistic. And yeah, that last line is actually important. Do not underestimate. I'm saying be realistic, don't overestimate yourself, but at the same time, don't underestimate yourself. There's two sides to the spectrum. Don't over or underestimate yourself, okay? So I don't want you to apply to too many hard schools and you're not gonna get into any. And then I don't want you to apply to all like easy safety schools and then you're stuck with just those schools and you're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I applied to a better school. You understand? So don't over or underestimate yourself. So 5 colleges, did that math. 1 safety, 1 reach, 3 targets. Start constructing a professional resume. Anywhere you've worked, anytime you've served, languages you know, things like that. You could search on like resume helper on Google, or your parents might be able to help you construct a resume. Because there is a part on the application where they say, if you have a resume, put it here. Whenever an application says if you can, do it. Because the average person is going to take the easy way out, the average human being, oh, if, I can skip it, there's no red star, next question. But if you do the ifs, then you're going to look better, okay? So construct a professional resume. Anyone here heard about college fairs? Yeah, go to college fairs, see what they're about. College fairs, obviously, they're going to promote their college like it's like the best university in the world. They're not going to show you, they're going to hide everything that's bad away from you, okay? But when you go on a tour, you're generally going to see how the life is like. But a college fair, there's a lot of those when you're younger too. Like, they're just going to show you everything that's good and not show you anything that's bad. Okay, so let's say a college GPA requirement. Let's say, what college is close? URI, you guys know University of Rhode Island. Let's say their GPA requirement is a 3.6. That sounds about right. 3.6 is their GPA requirement, and Hedra has a 3.4. He doesn't. I'm just using him as an example. I want you guys to make this reality. He has a 3.4, but he was involved in his high school, and their average SAT is at 1250 out of 1600, and he got a 1280. So his stats doesn't meet the GPA requirement by 0.2, which is a good amount. His SAT is slightly above average, nothing special, but he worked good in high school. He wrote a good essay. People know who he is. So more than likely, they're going to be taking him. Okay? So your stats, it's not a straight line, y equals mx plus b. It's not that straight line. If you see everyone that got accepted to certain colleges, it's like a plot. There's really different like areas of like who got accepted, because they're not just looking for stats. Like I said, extracurriculars, service, your essay. If they know who you are, that's good. Because a lot of people have good grades, but if they don't know who any of those people are, there's no point to them. They have to know, they want to know who they're taking into their community. Okay? Essays, some colleges might ask for more essays, but same idea. And be happy of where you're applying to. Okay? Don't say I'm applying here because my whole school is applying here and my parents told me to apply here and my second cousin goes there. Please be happy. Because if you're not happy through this process and you're not happy when you get accepted, there's really you're doing something wrong. Like when you get accepted, you should be happy that you got accepted to that certain school. You shouldn't say, oh, whatever. Because you worked hard for that. So please do your research and be happy of where you apply to, and eventually, God willing, where you get accepted. How will I afford college? This is important, especially parents. Music scholarships. If you can play an instrument, please play an instrument. Please. If you guys have any of that musical capability, if I were to go back to high school, I would have maybe split soccer in half and played the drums. Really. They give so many scholarships to musicians because there's not a lot. And have you guys ever seen a college marching band? It's huge. It's 200 people. It's huge, and not a lot of people play instruments. So they're always trying to fill those spots up. So it's never too late. If you're a sophomore or junior, it's not too late to start an instrument. It can't be that hard, I feel. Learn the beats to the drum. Do something. Play an instrument. It might be pricey, but it's going to pay you back. At college, personally, the people that have the most scholarships that I know are the musicians, the band kids, and it's not even close. On the soccer team, there's 5 kids that don't have a scholarship. Every single person in the marching band has a scholarship. And that's how it is across, not just my college, that's how it is across the board. If you can play an instrument, get yourself involved in that would be great. I remember when I was in 8th grade, someone told me the same exact thing, and I was like, yep, he's joking. And I didn't listen to him, and here I am wishing I played an instrument. Play an instrument, please. That would be great. FAFSA. Who here's heard of FAFSA? FAFSA. This is where you input all your family's financial statistics. Parents, is the same process as if you're applying to buy a new house. Same type of financial rundown. They're gonna look at your W-2s, your 1040s, all your tax return, all those statements. They're gonna look at everything. And then the college will look at your FAFSA after it gets approved. Let me make that clear. So you submit the FAFSA for your son, for your daughter, okay? And then it goes to them, the FAFSA group, the financial group, and they see if it's clear or not, and they review it, and they say, okay, this student needs $20,000 per semester, and then this family should be able to figure out and afford college. That's basically what they do. That's very, very simple, but that's basically what they do. So then the colleges are going to see the FAFSA and going to say, hey, they say this student needs $20,000, and then the colleges are going to decide how much they're going to give after they view the FAFSA. So nothing is guaranteed. But certain colleges, when you apply, I know for the younger freshmen and sophomores, this might seem useless, but give yourself a year. Some colleges, when you apply, it says we meet 100% of student need. Have you ever heard of that or seen that somewhere? They always say, we meet 100% of student need. Where do they find the student need? The FAFSA. Okay? So FAFSA, basically, you're portraying how much money you need, basically. But if you have each type of income gets a different. Let's say the average family total salary in 1 year, both parents, is $70,000, and another kid is $350,000. FAFSA is probably going to say he needs no money. They might say he needs $40,000 a semester, okay? Or more, or less. And then they're going to give that to the college. You send it to the college, and then they're going to see it and say, okay, we're going to give this guy this much. Most of the colleges nowadays, do the meet 100% of needs, okay? So whatever's on the FAFSA, they're gonna give you, maybe more, okay? You guys, everyone understand the FAFSA? You apply for the FAFSA the beginning of senior year. Beginning of senior year, and the application is in between January and March. Different schools have different FAFSA deadlines, because certain schools want to see the need at certain times, okay? And then you guys might have heard of the CSS. The more qualified, or not the more qualified, the schools that are harder to get into, the better schools might require an additional background financial literacy check, and make sure that the family is being very accurate with their stats. They will tell you, we require a CSS profile. It's basically the same thing, just through this is through the College Board itself. It's just different corporations that see the same statistics. If they match, that's good. They should match. So don't try to trick anyone, please. Okay, because if you trick someone, you're gonna get 0. You can say he's not clear, you're getting nothing. Yes, the kid, you are applying to FAFSA. However, you need the parent or both parents when you apply. Applying for the FAFSA is like a day. You're gonna say, on Monday we're applying for FAFSA. You guys are all gonna sit together, get the student's computer out, open FAFSA. I am a student applying for whatever year, and then the parents are basically gonna need to fill most of it out. Like parents' W-2s, 1040s, tax returns, all that stuff. We have no idea. Honest to God, we have no idea what that looks like for parents usually. So the parents are gonna need to do that type of stuff. So don't throw out those forms, be consistent. Under their name, yeah. Because as a sophomore in college, I have to reapply. But most students are gonna be living at college. So I'm applying for myself for sophomore year, the juniors, etc. But it's under your name. The FAFSA is under your name, it's under your education. But your first time, you need your parents to be able, for the colleges to be able to see the incomes and all that stuff. You guys understand that? That's the main way, not the main way, depends on the situation, but that's one of the main reasons that you're gonna get scholarships. And by scholarship, I mean money off, okay? So that's one of the reasons you're gonna get a cheaper college tuition. So for everyone to hear, he's saying, let's say a certain family is making around 70,000 a year and one other family is making $1 million. They're gonna get very different FAFSA reports. And the school is gonna say, okay, Bob's family is making $70,000 a year. This school costs $60,000. We need to give Bob $15,000 per semester and his family should be able to cover the rest. So then the college is gonna look, hey, FAFSA says Bob needs $15,000 a year. We'll give him the $15,000 and we'll throw $2,000 on top so he can come to our college. If you're a good applicant. Joe, $1 million, FAFSA is gonna say his parents make $1 million a year, he doesn't need any money from us, 0. College are gonna look, hey Joe, his family doesn't need any money to pay for his college, you get $0. It's nothing with grades or anything. The additional is with the grades and the music and the athletics. But FAFSA, it doesn't matter who you are, it solely depends on family income, 100%. FAFSA is nothing personal. It's purely income and numbers, okay? And then on top of that, they might throw random scholarships at you. Not random, but you know what I mean. And then obviously student loans, they're out there. This is family preference. I think I said that. This point is different from family to family. There's no two families that are gonna go through the financial process the same. Certain families are gonna wanna carry all of it in loans. Some families like to do payments. Colleges offer payments and things like that. Certain families want this loan to be under the kid's name. Certain families are gonna have the loan under the parent's name. The FAFSA is always gonna be under the kid's name. I'm gonna be clear. FAFSA is always going to be under the student's name. The loan or the payment is up for the family to decide. Do we wanna put the loan does the student wanna take a loan out and pay it after college? Are we gonna take care of the loan? Are we gonna just pay it off right now? Depending on how much. That's money you get. The kid needs, so the FAFSA is how much, they're telling The college, how much money the kid needs, okay? And nothing extra. It's based solely on income and numbers. So if FAFSA is gonna say, he needs $50,000, okay, the college is gonna give him $50,000. Everything else is separate. And like I said, sorry. No, FAFSA is given. This is not loan. FAFSA is money minus the total, and you have to pay the difference. And I was going to say something. Ask your questions when I come back. She said, would you rather recommend student loan or your parents take out the loan? No idea. Depends on your family. That's 100% up to you. No one can tell you what's better, what's worse. At the end of the day, well, like there are certain things like you can have your parents like become a co-signer or something on the loan, so then they have like a better credit history than you, so your interest gets lower and stuff like that. But you're gonna go to the bank, and they're gonna tell you everything like that. Yeah. So depending on, so he's saying student loans, like most of them, you don't have to pay until after you graduate. Yes. So if you're a student, like myself, and take out a loan, I can decide. Like like most banks, you start paying it after your 4 years. You say expected years of study, 4. After you graduate, you can start paying for your student loans. However, if you want to start paying from it right away, you can, and that would be lower interest rate. It's like almost any big car, house. Exactly, credit cards, build your history. That's why parents, you should be asking your parents about this type of stuff. Because even if you think your parents don't know anything about it, they do, okay? Your parents know what a loan is, your parents have card history, all this stuff, okay? So you can ask your parents. So yeah, student loans. Academic scholarships, if you're very smart, they're gonna give you money for it, okay? And then there's, of course, some scholarships that you have to apply for. Like certain colleges are going to say apply for the, I don't know, like at BC it's called the like Ignatian or something. Like you apply for a certain scholarship, you apply for it, you submit a different application, and this scholarship is for academics. This one's for athletics, musicians. Sometimes they have, not sometimes, all the time now, they have scholarships for being diverse. Basically not being like the average college student, like first generation American or whatever, they have scholarships for that. There's a lot of different scholarships. So you have to go on the websites, research your scholarships, and you can get free money. Scholarships, you don't pay back. Scholarships is money you get. Try to have above, yeah. Yes. So Christina's a senior, she said, should I start applying for scholarships right now? Yes. Even if you don't know if the college is gonna take you or not, apply for the scholarship. They're two different applications. Yes. Yeah, so like the diverse stuff, if you speak another language, if you have a different skin color, if you do something different, colleges love that. Use all of your personality for your advantage on the applications and the scholarships, okay? Like, yeah, languages, academic, if you're good at a certain class or classes in general, you have a really good SAT, there's a lot of different scholarships that you can get. Certain ones you can apply to, and things like that. But minimum 3.5 GPA, minimum. If you have a below 3.5, don't even think about a scholarship, okay? Because even if you're a great person, if you don't have good grades, they're not gonna pay for you to go to school. At the end of the day, it still is school, okay? So that's the minimum. And this is like what I said about your easy classes are not gonna be counted in. Okay, so don't depend on your easy class to carry your GPA. SAT scores, sports. Oh yeah, one notes I put here. If you have like a random talent in a random sport, like golf, bowling, anyone here do cross country, track, those sports are very, very not easy, but they're way easier to get a scholarship in those types of sports than your average Joe playing soccer, basketball, and football, right? And like a lot of people play like soccer, basketball, football, volleyball. That's like the main sports in America. If you're good at golf, if you're good at bowling, if you can do cross country, they give out a lot of scholarships for that. Track, don't think it's weird to do stuff like this, because in the long run, you're gonna get paid more, okay? So I put a slide for parents. Help your children with the FAFSA, figuring out the monetary side, figuring out everything with money, because that's just how it works. I put W-2 forms, 1040, federal income tax, all the forms that align with that stuff. Keep them, do not throw them away. Keep them, keep them. Because sometimes they ask to see years that's unexpected. They're gonna say like, they say like, I wanna see your it was 2023 and they told me, submit your 2021 W-2. Submit your parents' 2021 W-2 form and it was in 2023. They wanna see like how the family's income looked like and that type of consistency. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. So Sharif brought up a good point in the FAFSA for parents. There's a way to connect your IRS with the FAFSA. However, there is a button under that says create or do something manually. Create the FAFSA manually, and then you're gonna submit all these forms. Manually. Create the FAFSA manually, and then you're gonna submit all these forms. Transportation, if you're not on campus, then your transportation is going to be a lot of money. On campus, the housing is going to be a lot of money. No matter what, you're paying a lot of money, so start saving. Okay? So college is a huge. Like school fees are random. Like one day, a college can tell you, we need $750 by tomorrow for your lab. That happened to me personally. Great. Okay? So there's a lot of random fees that are going to come up. Don't go, this is what not to do. Go on Google, search up University of Rhode Island cost. Average cost, $56,000. Okay, we're gonna save this much money. We're gonna save $58,000 and we're gonna be good. Don't do that, okay? Do not depend on those sources. It's so different. You're gonna see so much random fees that no one reports and things like that, okay? So be ready, don't be surprised. Be realistic. This is important too. If you are planning to become an elementary school teacher, majoring in elementary education, that's awesome. If that's what you love, do it. However, do not take a loan for $250,000, paying $90,000 a year at your college for that. Calculate it in your head. What's gonna be my expected salary after I graduate? This does seem like, I know, like you guys are looking at me, I'm a junior or sophomore in high school, this is irrelevant. In 1 year or less, you're gonna be deciding how much money you're gonna be taking out, and that's how much you're gonna be paying back in 5 years from now. So it's all relevant, okay? So if your expected salary after graduation is gonna be $50,000 a year, starting, it will not be a smart idea to have $250,000 in loans. That's just logic, right? Anyone not understand that? Be realistic with how much you're gonna pay for college versus how much you're gonna get in return. Because at the end of the day, I bolded, italicized, I did everything I could. College is an investment. You're paying them to give you a degree. That's all it is. That's what college is. You're saying, here, take $5 and give me a degree. It's not $5, but you understand the point. You're paying them, and in return, you get a degree. You can do whatever you want with that degree, but it's an investment. So don't pay too much for that degree. Don't be paying loans for 20 years. You don't want to do that, okay? Unless you know your expected career path is going to be paying back for that. Okay, so you guys get that point of being realistic. There's no career path that is like wrong. Well, obviously there's a couple, but if you love what you do, the money doesn't matter in your career. Okay, if you love what you do, the money doesn't matter. You have to be happy in what you do. If you're not happy in what you do, then you're doing something wrong. Okay. However, you can be happy in what you do, but at the same time, please be realistic. Okay. Don't spend that much money on college if your expected salary is not even a fourth. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that expected salary. I want to make myself clear. Money is not everything. However, don't like dig a financial hole for yourself in 5-6 years. Because this is relevant from now. But let's say like someone that is engineering, or we can go the max. We could say like someone that wants to be a doctor and he takes out 250,000 in loans, but then he compares that with his expected salary. It's more realistic. So there's more, like, you guys should know what I mean right now. I said this, I repeated myself a lot. But be realistic. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like you guys like can go on Google like right now, probably a freshman is saying like, I don't know, civil engineer average salary. Oh, he's making $70,000. Perfect. That's good for me. You could graduate and make $40,000 as a civil engineer. You could wait 3 years and be making 130, 140. Okay? Money is not everything. It's gonna change. Everything is gonna change, especially with society. We need more engineers, we need more doctors, we need less engineers, we need less. That's never gonna happen. We need less doctors. But everything changes. Okay? So don't go on Google and say this average salary is perfect for this loan. Everything is gonna change. I didn't mean to do that. It's pretty cool. Okay, so now we talked about the GPA, we talked about your SAT, we talked about your extracurriculars, we talked about FAFSA, paying for college, what colleges want to see, your essays. So now I have real life stats. These are updated stats 2023. So this is Boston College, and these are going to be my most accurate numbers because I got them straight from the college. Like I was at a presentation and they told us this, so this is the most accurate it's going to get. 15% acceptance rate. Okay, for every 100 people they take 15. You can do the math. GPA average, 3.96 GPA out of 4.0. Okay, just so we start seeing how rigorous the schools that a freshman like, yep, I'm going to go to BC and maybe Northeastern, but I like BC better. Just so we start being realistic with ourselves. If we want to go to a good school, start from now. SAT average, 1511 out of 1600, okay? Average cost, 62 to 95,000 a year. And going back to my last slide, I don't want to be paying 90,000 a year if my expected salary is going to be less than half. This is what I mean. Now I want you to picture it real life now. Now it should all start to make sense. So we talked about SATs. Not a lot of kids submit SATs. Why? The average is so high. So the kids that study for it submit it. Do you understand that? We talked about that in the way beginning, but it's relevant right now. Northeastern. You guys know BC and Northeastern, right? In Boston, like every kid that grows up in Massachusetts says they're going to go there. 19% acceptance rate. So you guys can do that math. 19 out of 100. GPA average, 4.04. Wait a minute. They have a higher acceptance rate, but a lower GPA, or let me say it again. They have a higher acceptance rate, so it's kind of easier to get into, but their GPA requirement is higher. Can you guys connect the dots? 15%, 19% acceptance, but BC's requirement, or average, was 3.96, Northeastern is a 4.04. From what I said for I don't know how long that took, can anyone guess why? I can put the SAT up there too. They don't just look at your GPA. They look at your extracurriculars. Are you involved? They read your essays. They want to know who you are as a person. Okay? So don't just say, oh, I have a 3.8. I'm not going to apply to Northeastern. No, that's not how it works. It's, like I said, it's not y equals mx plus b. Hopefully you guys know what that is. It's not a straight line. It's not a straight line going up. Okay? It's different. See, real life. This is 2023. 19% with a higher GPA requirement and a lower SAT. So it's like a scatter plot, like I told you in the beginning. Okay? Average cost for Northeastern, $57,000 to $78,000 a year, room and board. Boston University, 14%. GPA average, 3.8. Hey, that doesn't make sense. BC was 15% with a 3.96. Boston University is 14% with a 3.8. Again, it's not a straight line. The stats are going to change from school to school because they look at you holistically, but your GPA is primary. SAT average 1491, average cost 59K to 80,000. don't share anything. They don't want you to know anything. That's just how it is. Yeah, like University of Florida or Central Florida, UCF, biggest schools, like 80, 90,000 students, and their acceptance rate's like 70%. But on a large scale, that like in your head should make acceptance rate much higher. But like there's some schools, like, anyone here know what a NESCAC school is? Anyone, like there's some schools in like Maine that their acceptance rate is like 8% and they have like 1,000 students in the whole college. So that acceptance rate in your head should go down. So that's some research you should do when applying for the school. School size matters. Like BC is like, I don't know, like 12,000. And most of these schools are around the same. WPI, 57% acceptance rate. GPA average still high, 3.89, but their SAT is much lower, 1380 out of 1600. Average cost, $55,000 to $74,000 a year. And up to this point, BC, Northeastern, BU, WPI are all private colleges. So they're supposed to be more expensive. And then I put the two like most popular public universities. UMass Boston, 78%. GPA average is 3.34. SAT average 1130. Average cost 14 to 35, and it's more likely in a public school. If you're in state, you're going to get more scholarships usually. They like you better. So a school like this, 78% acceptance rate. I don't want you to say, phew, I don't need to do any work. There's colleges that take this type of grading. No, you say, okay, that could be a safety. Remember when I told you about reach, target, safety? Like for example, we'll go back to last slide. BU, 14%, 3.8 GPA. I have, let's say, Bob has a 3.7 or 3.6 maybe, and he didn't do good on his SAT. That can be his reach. Maybe they'll take me. WPI matches more my SAT, more my GPA. That's going to be a target. And then safety. Just to put it into perspective. And that's how everything is here. You can read the stats. UMass Amherst on the bottom, 64%. They actually have a very high GPA for such a high acceptance rate. So even if it's like a high high acceptance rate, you still have to work. There's no school that takes anyone lazy. And then average cost, 16 to 32. And for other colleges, research. Just search up. But like like when you search up, hopefully you guys searched up some colleges. On Google it says, it's like in the bar right under Google, it says like 3 numbers, acceptance rate, average cost, and I don't even know what they say. Don't look at that. That's like not accurate. Go onto the school website itself and you can search up like class of 2023 admissions rates, and they'll tell you everything. So everything is on, like I got all this from online except for BC, but it's actually still online. And if you have trouble finding, if you guys are interested in a school, finding trouble statistics, just let me know and I can put some work in. And then this is like, I just kind of want to touch upon it. Your major is not your career, okay? This is very self-explanatory, I feel. Education, college, your skills, your vision, like what you want to do, your interest, values, goals, all that is your career. But if you're a biology major, you're not a biology researcher for life. If you're a finance major, you're not going to be doing financial literacy for life. That's just part of on the way to your career, okay? Work hard. This is a good quote from the Bible, Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Please don't start overthinking. It's good to be aware, good to be realistic, but do not overthink, okay? Because everything is going to work out. But do not overthink, okay? It's a hard process. It's not supposed to be easy, but it's very doable. It might not, like some people, like it's not even that hard. If you're realistic with yourself, make a plan, make it clear, it's not going to be hard. It's just a longer process. Like it's hard to apply for something in November and wait till like February to hear back. But don't worry too much. And like this, some other quotes. The one on the bottom, some people want it to happen, some people wish, others make it happen. So it's up to you guys. If you want something to happen, make it happen from now. Like I said, first day from freshman year till you graduate. Questions? Any questions? Good question. So Christina asked, like, what is the threshold we should consider when submitting SAT scores? Like, when do I submit my SAT score versus when do I do not? If your SAT score is significantly above the average, submit it. If your SAT score is the average, don't submit it. Okay? Because if you're an average student, why would you want to show that if your GPA is higher? But if your GPA is average, then you might as well put your SAT. But if your GPA is higher than the average, and then your SAT is the same with the average, don't submit your SAT. Just imagine you're like a college admission like person, whatever you call them, and like you're trying to build like a strong student profile. That's what you're doing. You're like applying yourself for the draft. So just be like, put it as strong as you can. So I didn't submit for certain college, like Boston College, 1511, I didn't submit. That's insanely high. But my GPA was matched, so I said, you know what, I'm not gonna do SAT. But for like different colleges that I was above their SAT average, I submitted for them. So if you're above the average, I would say submit. If you're at average, look at your other stats and then see. No. These are all stats from the previous year, but they are very well aligned. Like, this is 23, my class. So those stats were the class of 23, and then class of 24 is seniors. After they apply, they're gonna release. So like next year's seniors or this year's? Then they look at the 2023 stats. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have expected. But like there are websites, like high schools are gonna give you guys websites with like expected acceptance rate for this school. But it's the same. It's the same every year. Like, but everything is going lower. Like Boston College was like 18 to 15, BU like 17 to 14. But it's the same requirements. It's just more people are getting smarter, more people are playing sports, that whole thing. Any other questions? Okay, I'll ask you a question. What's a reach school? Reach. Sam? A school that you have a small probability to get into, so you apply for it. Okay, I'm just gonna go over the key points. Okay, so we have reach, safety, target. Safety school, what's a safety school? The one on his phone. UMass Boston, safety. Marco, what's a safety school? I know you're young for this, but it's a school. Nice. Safety school. John. Yeah, and how old are you? What grade are you in? He's in 6th grade. So please, everyone in high school, you should know this. Please. Safety school, good job. I said safety, reach. What's a target school? Pretty self-explanatory. You should be getting into your target school. But there's still a chance they might say no. Okay, everyone is clear with the FAFSA? They show student need, and you don't pay it back. Okay, loans you pay back. The money that they give you in scholarship, you don't pay it back. Okay, so yeah, I think that's everything. GPA, I talked about GPAs a lot. Out of 4.0, do your best, try to get a 4.0. There's a very high chance you're not gonna graduate with a perfect GPA, but if you shoot high and you miss, you should miss pretty high. If you shoot low and you miss low, you're gonna miss very low, okay? So don't say, oh, that's impossible, I'm gonna aim for a B. If you aim for a B and you miss, which is it's very possible to miss, you're going to be at a C. I said this in the beginning, I'll say it again. If you aim for an A and you miss, you're going to get a B. Okay? And when does this start? Your first day of 9th grade. Okay? So all of you guys are already in the college process. All your grades, that could stress you out. If it does stress you out, I wouldn't be too upset because you start to realize the responsibility you carry. All your grades right now are going to be looked at by colleges. Okay? So I want you guys to remember that, and you're going to do great. If you have any personal questions, I'll be here for a little bit. If you have any questions about athletics in college, I can answer those too. I've done a lot of research on that. But anyways, any more questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Good job. قد سابونا نصلي ولا قد تقول حاجة؟